Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for May 21st, 2022, which has user record 2448 and ramp it up Salon.
Hi.
We have not much this week.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's a bit on the slow side this week. After last week with all the news.
I mean, makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But before we get into that, Tommy, what have you been playing the last couple weeks?
I mean, about the only thing to note has been Star City. I have found stuff which also makes me aggravated. The ship kind of crashed and burned.
Through no fault of your own, because the ship decided, I'm just gonna stop working now. Bye.
It's done that twice. Both times I've had another person with me.
Mm-hmm.
I can almost guarantee to you, I could boot up right now, get in the ship, and it would run for hours without a problem. And I don't understand it.
Neither do I, because my ship did the same thing while I was idling in the hangar. It just turned itself off, but I was just like, what did I do? I touched nothing. What's happening?
I mean, I do know there is a button to turn the power off. It's the U key.
I'm pretty sure I didn't hit the
Which
U
makes that extremely fun when you go to get up out of the chair and end up hitting that button instead when you're in there. I've done that before and then scrambled to hit it to get it back on. Fun fact, when you turn it off, you can turn it back on. When it turns itself off, it doesn't turn back on.
Mm.
And I think what ticked me off more about that was the simple fact of we were like really close to where we needed to go.
Yeah, I think we were less than like 1,000.
That was the point where I was just like, yep, I'm more ticked now that I will have to go all that way just to get my crap. I mean, to be fair, in all seriousness, I probably shouldn't have took that ship. I had already had problems beforehand, so it was probably begging to have a crash and burn kind of deal. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I found that mining is fun, which would have been the next thing I would have showed you, like on the next stream, but yeah.
We're going to do that off stream so we can actually attempt to get to the same location and be at the same location in case we die again.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, if the game does not hate me, I'm probably gonna get one of the Invictus ships before the next stream kind of concept. Not as in buy, but as in rent kind of deal.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I picked up 13 Sentinels a while ago, and I finished it. I've also platinumed it because there's honestly no other way you can play the game, because since it's like, visual novel / tactics game, there's not a whole lot of different things you can do. So all of the trophies are You have completed the prologue of this character. You have completed 50% of this character's story. You have completed 100% of this character's story. You have done X, Y, and Z thing in the tactics part of this game. Congratulations, you platinumed the game. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
I'm hearing easy game, easy platinum concept.
Kind of, yeah, because you're not required to do any of the combat on any of the 3 difficulties on it. So you can just kind of pick the difficulty you want, because there's easy, normal, and intense. I did all of it on normal, and I never had a problem. Especially when I looked into a guide to be like, what are the optimal abilities for all of the characters? And I found out that the trinity of abilities you want on 3 of the 4 classes of characters, because there's like 4 different types of sentinels. So one type of sentinel, you want sentry guns. They can essentially spawn a sentry gun like within a certain radius of them on the map. Guess what one character's special ability is as passive? Instead of spawning 1 sentry gun, you spawn 2 sentry guns for the price of 1.
Oh god.
So you always bring her. Another group of sentinels, their special ability is missile rain. Or their primary ability is missile rain. Can you guess what missile rain is? Hey, this wide-ass cone. This is going to be filled with 1,000,000 missiles. Have fun dodging. Take all the damage in this massive AoE attack. And then the last one is spawn interceptors. Interceptors are these little small units that automatically go and attack enemy units. You can spawn, I think, like 25 of them in groups of 5 per unit, I think. Or more than that. I don't know. I just know I could spawn a shit ton of them. So that is your trinity of units, and then the last group is just more of a melee. So you just have them run around and you just have them punch the bigger stuff into oblivion. Congratulations, you have solved combat forever. Nothing will stop you if you do this, because it's busted. Like, it is so busted. I broke the frame rate on the game for a little bit because I made the game chug. I'm on PlayStation 4 Pro for this game, by the way. I forced the game to chug on me a little bit because I did, you know, a couple missile rains at the same time with all these interceptors and all these enemies and all this stuff happening on screen, and the frame rate took a dip because I was doing too much too fast. But like, otherwise it was fun. I enjoyed it. The bear in mind, if you're gonna play this game, the story is a doozy. It is a lot to take in. It is time travel, but not really. It's like giant robots fighting monsters, except not really. It's complicated. And because you're playing it through the perspective of these 13 characters at different points in the story along a presumed linear path within their stories, you're trying to puzzle everything together as you're doing so. So at the start, it's like, oh, this makes sense. And then you start introducing more stuff from other characters and you're like, wait a minute. What the fuck's happening? So you're having to consult the timeline of events, the event archive that shows everything in a linear fashion as you're unlocking it. You're having also to consult your mystery files, which you get points to unlock mystery files you have that you just can't read yet. But others you can read. It's kind of a weird thing. It gives you something to work towards. But those contain information and like little recaps of stuff to be like, wait, they keep throwing out this term. What the fuck is this term? check the archive. Ah, that thing. Oh, right. That's the term. That's what they're talking about. But it's a doozy. But I enjoyed the doozy. Especially because it's vanillaware, and vanillaware makes good stuff. But I finished that up. I chipped away at Fortnite a little bit this past week or so. I want to finish out this season's Battle Pass before I just quit the game. But I'm finding it hard to have the drive to do so. So maybe I should just stop.
It's hard for me to say because I kind of gave on it a while back.
True. I just don't know what it is about Fortnite that I'm just like, it just doesn't click for me like other people does. And maybe it's because I'm just not playing with anyone, and everyone else I see that is enjoying it is playing with other people. Maybe that's the thing.
Maybe.
But I'm also like, maybe, but I'm also like, there's nothing in Fortnite to drive me forward besides I want to complete challenges to get rewards. There's nothing else within Fortnite to make me want to come back and play the game. Because it's not like Fortnite has plot. Then do not at me about the plot of Fortnite. The plot practically doesn't exist in that game. If I have to go to a YouTube video to have it explain to me what the fuck the plot is of Fortnite, that is a failing of your storytelling. Don't make me do homework to understand your plot. Besides that, I did go back to Super Robot Wars 30 and did some of the DLC missions. Like the post-game DLC missions. I found out that there is one mission that if you do, and you follow through on it, it essentially locks your save file and considers it complete, and you have to New Game Plus going forward to play the game. Or New Game, essentially. Because it's like the end of the game. So I'm chipping away at stuff there. I might go back to it this next week or so to kind of like wrap up all those DLC quests or DLC missions. Besides that, I have not really touched the 2 games that I've been wanting to do for game clearing because I'm behind hard. I guess completing 13 Sentinels means I'm +1, but not +1 on the list I wanted. So I'm at 3 of 12, technically. Otherwise, not much else. Oh, I guess a little extra news thing. Team Ryder, I think it was Team Ryder, said that there should be some news from Shout Factory on some release of Ryder of some kind is trademarked soon.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. I know a bunch of people are hoping for Blu-ray releases of the shows they have at the moment, which honestly would be nice. I've already done up the spine arts for them. It'd be nice to have those. But I'm suspecting it'll probably be just another show for streaming, and I can't wait for it to be a show I don't care about. So I'm very hard for me to go watch it. Because it won't be double. As much as that makes goddamn sense, it's not going to be double.
Oh, definitely not.
If it is double, I'll honestly be surprised.
So, I was just looking at something that came across Reddit.
What?
I know why we had a problem yesterday.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, yesterday, there was a 10,000 player increase That would be why the login queue was crap.
I'm sure they haven't had 10,000 players at one time in this game, I wouldn't think.
I think that is like the fourth biggest increase, only to one of the other Invictus events. Except for today's number has blew that one away now.
Jesus Christ.
21, almost 22,000. Yeah, the servers are hurting. That's what's happening.
Oops. We made the game free to play for a little bit. Oh no, everyone's trying out the free to play game. Ah, shit.
I don't think they intended it to do this. And it makes me wonder what bigger YouTuber slash streamer has made the comments about it to cause this to happen. Because now that's making me wonder.
I don't know. Let us check the Twitch.
Because
and see,
that is a pretty hefty gap just for it to be, oh, well, people have heard about it, so they're going to try it now. That feels like someone said, hey, this game's going to be free to play. You ought to try it out. Yeah, I was glancing and I saw that come over and I'm like, oh, here's the problem.
Well, it can't be many because Star Citizen's currently sitting at 2.5 thousand viewers viewing Twitch streams on it. And the highest person on there is at like 290 views. So I don't think anyone big is checking the game out.
At least on Twitch, unless YouTube's doing stupid with its algorithm and getting it out there.
Yeah.
Because that could be the thing.
There is videos with some people in the 10s and above 10s, but like, I don't know who the fuck these people are. Granted, I'm terrible about that. I don't know who are the big popular Twitch streamers besides like, I guess the couple of people I follow. I mean, if they count.
It could be too. Might not necessarily be right now. Might be midday stuff.
Well, this
is Star Citizen's actually one of those games that I could see if you've got the right person, it could be a good have in the background throughout the day kind of deal.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately it comes down to have the right person there. But it could be one of those chill, just to have background noise kind of concept.
Well, all of these archive videos are from within the last week or so, from the looks of it.
Which means it would have been showcasing the update before the event.
Yeah.
That also might have, hit big because of elevators pushing people through walls, but that's beside the point.
I'd be scared less of that and more of an elevator not existing when I try to step on it.
That's what I've more had. I've gotten pushed through a wall twice by an elevator. And both times, I say quick enough, but really you don't have to be. If you're quick enough to exit to the menu and get back in, if you're getting shoved through a wall on an elevator, guess what? You're going to be somewhere that already has a spot where you're going to respawn at.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a case of you're out anything but a loading sequence kind of deal. That one was not the worst. And there was an easy in-game way of, not getting shoved through the wall. It's called hit the button back up. That's why last night, when I think the elevator actually did hit me, because I don't think that was you pushing me, I think that was the elevator actually hitting me, I was like, oh, no.
I might have ran into you accidentally, but it was only like slightly.
That was a shove like the elevator would do, and I'm like, oh, no. Unless there's bump physics that I didn't know about, which there could be. Yeah, I don't think that was you.
I found out something interesting about the Halo show.
Okay.
So the show had 2 showrunners for its first season. They're both gone now.
Huh.
The first one left before I believe they were done filming, and the second one left when they were wrapping. So the show now needs a new showrunner going into season 2, which might be for the best, considering the quality of the show.
But also will probably be for the worst.
That too.
Because now they have to pick up the pieces from the first season and attempt to cobble something together, which will just make matters worse.
Oh, you have no idea after that finale. Oh, they have left this show in a place that I'm like, wow, we have certainly went everywhere and nowhere all at once. Congratulations, show.
I'm not gonna lie, I attempted to think about watching it and then I said, eh.
Attempted to think about. Not even actually turn it on. Just be like, do I want to give the show the time of day?
It's one of those, the last few episodes I've just been like, I'll watch it at some point. It's usually been like on one of my 2 days off kind of deal. Like, sure,
Fair.
I'll go ahead.
The finale certainly leaves the show in a place that I'm like, well, we've certainly went nowhere, haven't we? Also, this is going to be an awkward conversation once this finally happens. And weirdly, people have come around on Kai.
I can see it.
You wanna know why I think people came around on Kai?
Why?
The one scene where she's just deadlifting fucking warthogs and shit.
I mean, fair.
Like, the only way that scene could have went better is if they had a warthog flipped over and there was a conversation of, how do Spartans deal with flipped over warthogs? And she just fucking flips it right side up like that. It's like, we deal with it that way. That, or she straight up deadlifts the fucking warthog because she can.
You know, though, the only reason they didn't do the flipped over warthog is because that would immediately turn into a meme. Someone would immediately take the Halo UI element for the press X to flip over and apply it. The
show's already memed. This would be a better meme.
What's bad is if that was something that I could come up with that quick, you know, darn good and well that someone was like, yeah, we can't do that one.
This show, I barely heard anyone talk about this show in a general sense on Twitter at all, from like the news sites and stuff, unless it was someone specifically doing a review of the episodes, which was Game Informer. It took Chief having sex with the Covenant chick for anyone to give a shit about this show to put an article about it that wasn't a review.
I mean, yeah.
It took Chief doing a war crime with his dick for people to care. Because, by the way, folks, that is a war crime. But yeah, I finished that. I don't care about season 2. I'm not tuning back in for season 2. I'm sorry. Chippendale Rescue Rangers movie is certainly a thing that's not really a movie. It's a string of jokes and cameos strung together by the thinnest of plots.
That's a movie.
So, I guess if you want to call it that. I didn't care. I was zoned out so much during that movie because I was just like, oh yeah, they're making a joke about Uncanny Valley stuff, and oh hey, look, here's this reference and that reference and this thing and that thing, and where's the plot in this movie? Where's the character stuff in this movie? Oh, it doesn't exist most of the time.
It's in Act 6. You know, I'm not wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the thing I watched on a Friday morning. But anywho, shall we get to the news then?
Yep.
Alright then, Gotham Knights has finally got a release date and got some gameplay shown off for 2 of its 4 characters. Nightwing and Red Hood in this case. It was an extended gameplay look, one of our longer looks at the game since it was originally announced. It is now confirmed to only be coming out for PlayStation 4, or not PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S and PC. There will not be a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions of the game. I have concerns. So first and foremost, they decided to tie fashion to number weighing stats because this game has RPG, resource gathering, crafting equipment, hoopla stuff that doesn't need to be in an Arkham game, because this is an Arkham game.
No, it's a Gotham game.
This is literally being made by the only other studio that made an Arkham game.
Yeah, but it's Gotham.
But the gameplay, which you can like skim through some of the gameplay stuff. There's a specific moment I want you to look at because I might be just seeing things because I haven't seen people talk about it, but I feel like I'm seeing a thing that is a slight concern. But the gameplay, it looks rough. Like it looks a little like not all there in terms of the combat and stuff.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
It does say work in progress at the beginning.
Right.
I feel like it's not full on done. AKA
True.
Day 1 patch.
Right, and I'm sure the thing I've seen, I'm just like, that's a problem. Maybe you should fix that before this game comes out in October. But yeah, the thing I was mainly looking at, it's at about 1134. It's kind of deep in there. It mainly deals with particle effects of buffs on a player character and a single enemy. So I think this game is running at 30. I don't know if this game's running at 60. Whichever one it is, as soon as 2 characters have particle effects going on for buffs, the frame rate takes a dip. A very noticeable dip.
I'm just kind of watching this opening fight here.
Mm-hmm.
I could see a little bit of the jankiness kind of deal, but that part of it don't as deal.
Right.
I think it's because there's a lot of moving parts, so you don't notice it as easily. Mm-hmm. Like it's there, but it's not kind of concept.
Yeah. Granted, people have complained about Red Hood having a double jump because of Spirit, Lazarus Pit stuff, but I'm like, why does he need this?
Oh, that net lag. You could feel it right there.
Yeah.
Oh, you could see that.
Yeah, there's a little bit of there too.
That tells me the
Nightwing.
netcode's not all the way there.
Yeah, because this is, I believe, should be 2-player co-op. I know something somewhere suggests 4-player co-op, but I think this confirmed 2-player co-op. But yeah, Nightwing, his Fortnite glider, his literal Fortnite glider, because since only like 2 of them have capes, they need a thing that lets them glide. Besides the grappling hook for movement.
I mean, fair. You can
Even
definitely...
though they all have access to a bike.
You can definitely, though, feel a lot of Spider-Man vibes off of the...
Yeah.
And I think that might be what I'm kind of digging. I want to say the part. I'm not sure for another. He said 11, what?
34. It should get you in range. You should start to see it, because Red Hood will pop a buff, and then he'll hit the enemy. That enemy gets a buff or a debuff or something, and then you'll see the frame rate drop from there.
Oh, yeah! I saw it before the enemy got the buff.
Yeah, particle. This game does not like particle effects or buff auras or whatever this is that's causing it.
Oh, I saw that. That random dip to like 15 and then back up.
Yeah, because as soon as that goes away, game's fine.
It like recovered quick, but it was that immediate slowdown off of both of them. It's like, oh.
But here's the thing I'm concerned about, because, okay, this seems to be some sort of aura particle effect thing. There's gear you have that has effects that I assume it could transplant, because there's like poison gear, freeze gear, stuff like that. Presumably that imparts some sort of visual effect onto enemies to represent that they are being hit by the buff or debuff or whatever, right?
Looked like it.
This is a frame rate drop with 2 people in an empty room.
Well, empty-ish room.
Empty-ish room, right. This is 2 people. We're talking about a game that will probably on a regular basis have you up against 8 enemies.
I wonder if it's because it seemed like a sub-boss kind of...
It was.
If it was maybe something with...
I would hope so, because I would hope this is not a general thing, because that shit needs to get fixed now. Because it is only going to be worse in mob fights.
I mean...
I assume it's just some weird quirk with the engine and stuff, and like it's...
I jumped back a little bit. Oh yeah, this Uber feels like how... Like how Spider-Man is set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wish the fashion stuff wasn't tied to stats. Arbitrary stats, mind you. Because, like, it'd be one thing if it's like, this gear gives you shock stuff, this gear gives you poison stuff, this gear gives you freeze stuff. It's another thing to attach random arbitrary numbers to them that are meaningless. I wish less games would put the numbers on the forefront, because nobody cares. Nobody cares about the numbers.
I mean, fair.
But yeah, it looks fine. The game needs some polishing before October. Just work on that, please. Get this game better.
The fact that it said work in progress leads me to think, okay, they realize that it is dropping frame.
Mm-hmm.
Surely they'll fix that.
I assume we'll get another showcase like this for Batgirl in Red Robin or Robin. I forget if it's Red Robin or Robin in this game because it's Tim, I think, for this one. Because I don't think it's Damien. I need to double check. But the other two characters, I assume, would get a showcase as well.
I would have said.
Yes, it's Tim Drake Robin. It's just Robin, not Red Robin. Okay. Yeah, that's hoping. I would like another good Arkham game, please. We got some Steam news. Not good Steam news. for Valve, at least. So apparently a judge has ruled that Valve should face antitrust lawsuit over various policies related to Steam. Apparently it's over conditions on how even non-Steam enabled games are sold and priced. These allegations are sufficient to plausibly allege unlawful conduct. This is springing from a case from Wolfire Games that they filed back in spring of last year. 30% commission take by Valve is one of the primary things they're holding against them. Ability to withhold keys and revoke publisher privileges, and Valve's favored use of controversial most favored nation policies, a technique used by many online outlets to drive up prices, particularly in the United States. So, yeah, Valve might be in a little bit of trouble. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for this. You got any thoughts?
On one hand, I feel like our government has failed in terms of, catching technology.
I mean, yeah.
So on that hand, I'm like, this is at least a step towards their looking at, the problems when we let the tech giants actually run the world instead.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm like, the developers are also going to this company, expecting this company to sell and distribute their product. If you had a physical copy and sold those physical copies to GameStop or Walmart or anywhere like that, they're gonna price them in a way to where they get a profit off of it too. So it's one of those, I don't know on that one. This feels like that gray area where it's like it's got good and bad.
It feels like a wait and see kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, there does need to be regulations in place to where you don't get a company that just says, oh, you want to make this off the game? We're gonna double that. That way we can make that off the game too.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, how far do you limit that? Because at the end of the day, if a developer sells their game on Steam, they're utilizing Steam servers for distribution, their storefront for selling. What's the difference between how Steam is set up and Google Play or the Apple App Store?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's still being housed by this other company. They have to make money too. So Eh?
Yeah. Well, shall we talk about something lighter then?
I guess.
Have you checked out anything from Multiverses?
No.
Since the alpha has dropped and a bunch of different people have gotten a hold of it and talked about it.
I think I got invited to the alpha, but I don't remember. Like, that's one of those, I think I remembered seeing it, and I'm like, oh, I might try that out at some point.
Well, I know Ty has checked it out because I've watched a couple streams of his. This game looks better than it has any right to be. Because it's 2v2 focus, so a lot of the characters are built around 2v2 with support and like offensive abilities, and it looks really good. Especially if you're a fan of, like, I'm just gonna say it, if you like the melee, you're probably gonna like this because it seems like it's got a little bit of melee in mind.
But this is not melee.
Right.
Had to do the meme.
But like a lot of the characters are good. Apparently around 20 characters have already been data mined from this alpha that they already have in mind and are working on. Let's see if I can pull up the list. So the data mine list is Marvin the Martian, Joker, well, I might as well get this whole list because it's a mix of different data mines and stuff. So you've got Marvin, you've got LeBron, you've got Joker, Nubia from DC Comics, Raven from DC Comics, Gandalf and Legolas from Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Ron Weasley from Harry Potter, Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty, Morty from Rick and Morty, Cormoran from Rick and Morty, Fred Flintstone from the Flintstones, Johnny Bravo from some incarnation of Johnny, or not. No, I'm thinking Johnny Quest. My bad. I'm thinking Johnny Quest, not Johnny Bravo. My bad. Mad Max, Ben 10, Godzilla, King Kong, Neo, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Gizmo from the Gremlins, Emmett. It doesn't specify which version of Emmett because it could be Lego Movie or Back to the Future Emmett. Naruto from the Naruto. Wreck-It Ralph or Fix-It Felix from Wreck-It Ralph, and The Incredible Hulk, which that one doesn't make sense. Those last two kind of don't make sense because that's a Disney thing and a Marvel thing, and that is not Warner Brothers. Naruto doesn't quite make sense either, but like everything else, I think falls under Warner Brothers.
Where does Universal land in all that? Because Hulk is still technically there.
I believe Universal's is its own thing. Or wait, no, Universal's is under Warner Brothers.
So that's why.
Probably. The recent data mine, there's a Craig, I don't know.
That's the reason why we can't have a Hulk movie.
But we can't have a She-Hulk Disney Plus series.
Yeah.
That Hulk appears in.
Oh, Hulk can appear in other Marvel properties. He just cannot be the focal character because of the way that the contract for the Hulk movie.
Right. The recent data mine, it is Craig from something. I don't recognize this character. Scooby-Doo, Black Adam, Poison Ivy, Static Shock, Beetlejuice, the Wicked Witch of the West, the Hound, Daenerys, 11. Emmett is from the Lego Movie, and then a couple of OC characters, like the Rain Dog from this one. That is an OC. It is not from a specific movie or TV or anything like that.
Okay. Here's the one complaint that I have. I don't like how for lack of a better term, the percentages are directly under the character.
There's apparently options and stuff to change the UI. I don't know how extensive it is. I know you can really change up like the characters' auras, like their color auras, to the point that like you can have a different color for your partner and you in the enemy team.
I mean, if you can mount them like under or above kind of deal,
right?
Then I would be fine with that. But I feel like having it tied to the character it feels disorienting. Because I've tried just watching one character to try to pay attention to the percentage, and it's hard to do. If you get 3 overlapping, then you never know which one's going to overlap you.
Oh no, you can. Like what you're talking about is it looks like the footage from Game Informer, right?
Yeah, it is the game.
No, you can change
footage.
that.
Okay.
You can have it look exactly like Smash.
Okay.
Where the icons are at the bottom and the percentages are right next to those icons at the bottom.
Because
yes, you can do that.
That's my complaint, kind of deal.
That is a setting you can change.
It's one of those casual setting, sure, because it don't really matter. If this game wanted to go anywhere beyond that, then yeah, that would have to be a changeable thing.
Yeah, that is a changeable thing.
Because there's oof.
There's entire options menu that is just called Legacy, and it is just all UI stuff to make it look like Smash. Because that's all it is. It's just UI stuff to make it look like Smash.
I mean, I don't mind the way that it's set up at the top.
Yeah.
And we're back. I heard VLC goof, but
Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's a whole perk system as well. You can also grab ally perks. So like if your teammate's playing a different character, you can also take their perks and use them as well in your loadout. Unfortunately, it takes them away after you like play a game. If you like redo a game, it takes those away, so you have to put them back. But like that's an option, which is kind of cool. But yeah, everything I've seen says this game looked cool, and this game's free to play, by the way. This is all the second platform fighter free to play game in existence, because the only other one is Brawlhalla.
The big question is, did they do the money-making gimmick right with this? Because you know it's got to have one.
It has a season pass system.
I don't know if I dig that part of it, but okay.
Oh. They're apparently investing a lot of money in it.
It is
So
still
they're-
struggling.
Internet, why?
Found the frickin' problem.
Oh, what?
Komodo soon as I closed it, it straightened up immediately. I'm like, really? What was it trying to block?
Everything. Everything and nothing all at once.
I thought it was the app. I closed it. It still did it. Anyway. Thanks, Komodo, for, just saying, internet, what's that?
But I think once Multiverse, hits proper release or easily accessible release, I'll probably try it out.
Now, the reason why I was kind of like, the Battle Pass thing kind of has lost me on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is doing that.
True.
A game like this, I don't feel like the characters should be behind a paywall, but I think it should take a League of Legends approach and have customization for the characters behind a paywall.
Characters are not behind a paywall.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I don't think it should do that.
Right. I believe customization is, it's a mix. I think there is some in the Battle Pass, and I think there might be some you can buy. And there's some you can unlock. So it's kind of a mix of the three. Because, I know for Taz, you hit a certain level with Taz, you unlock a summertime costume from his. But the Battle Pass has a Shaggy costume that you can unlock through it. But I think Shaggy has a separate costume maybe in his levels. So it kind of is if you want something specific, you can...
I could see that work.
Yeah.
Have a handful of them for the level. Yeah, that's true. Have so many of them for the levels. So many of them behind paywalls of varying sorts.
Yeah.
I think it's OBS.
Oh no.
I honestly think it's OBS. And then it straightens up.
Well, any other thoughts before we attempt to move on if the internet allows us?
I can't think of any.
Alright. So, we have a reasonable schedule for E3 week stuff, since there's no E3 this year, because E3 is dead. I'm just gonna say E3 is dead. E3 lives on in the fact that we have E3 week. So, reasonable schedule of stuff we're gonna be looking at, in terms of what can we expect to have big announcements and stuff. Summer Game Fest will be on June 9th, 11 o'clock Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. That's the Jeff Keighley, here's all the fancy stuff thing. We have the Geeked Week, or Netflix's Geeked Week. So for all of the Netflix adaptations and stuff, specifically, that Cyberpunk animated show we were supposed to have, and then Netflix didn't talk about it until now?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's gonna be there. And another Resident Evil live action thing that still doesn't look that good because we can't figure out how to do Resident Evil right. But that is 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern on June 10th. Tribeca Games Spotlight? Um, is going to be focused on stuff like Plague's Tale, American Arcadia, Oxenfree 2, and the like, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern on that same day. June 11th, Guerrilla Collective. And Wholesome Games Direct, and the Future Game Show. And then on the 12th, is the first kind of like other big one, Xbox and Bethesda, as they attempt to throw something together, since Bethesda went, hey, you know that Starfield game you should be excited about? It's not coming out this year. Hey, that other game we were going to bring out this year? It's not coming out this year. We've got nothing. And then PC Gaming Show is also that same day. No, excuse me, nothing confirmed yet for Sony or Nintendo, I don't think. But I believe Square Enix has already confirmed that they're doing something next month as well, because they're like, hey, by the way, you know that Final Fantasy VII Remake we were supposed to have a sequel for now? We're going to talk about it next week, amongst other things. Like, they've directly stated, Final Fantasy VII Remake news next month. See you then. So, but happy for people who care about that one. So, anything in this list you're looking forward to?
Not really at the moment.
Fair. I'm looking forward to Nintendo Direct, and not to tell me that there's no Breath of the Wild, but will just tell me about other stuff that I'm going to be playing, because...
About Splatoon 3 that got delayed?
Yes. About Splatoon 3, about Xenoblade Chronicles 3, about Strikers, about, like, anything else. Probably some expansion pass
stuff. And then
stuff.
at the very end, oh yeah, and Breath of the Wild 2 is still coming soon, TM.
Here's another trailer that we'll probably spend 2 hours talking about, because it will do something really cool with it.
You know what I'm almost getting the feeling of?
What?
We're this far into a console generation for Nintendo. Breath of the Wild 2 is not coming out on the Switch.
That's kind of been the speculation that it's going to be on, like, the Switch Pro, the Switch 2, Switch whatever it's supposed to be.
The new Nintendo Switch.
Right.
Because you got to do that to use everyone.
Right, but I don't know how much Nintendo wants to try to launch a new console with how things are currently, considering how hard it is to get hold of a PlayStation 5 and a Series X at the moment.
The last I saw, the speculation is 24. If that's the case, then they'll keep Breath of the Wild 2 back. We might see it on the Switch, but it'll probably... No, actually, if it follows Breath of the Wild, it'll actually run better on the Switch than it would the new console.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, what they'll do is it will come out on the Switch, and then it'll come out the Switch next year, but then a year later...
After.
Year after?
Yeah. It'll come out the same time, both consoles.
Oh. I was about to say, it will come out a year before, and then they'll do a complete edition of the game that'll come out on the proper next console.
Nah. Because that would entail them doing all the DLC before the console comes out.
Yeah, and that's not happening.
No.
Alright, last up. Take-Two in Zynga, of all companies. You probably have never not heard of Zynga in a long-ass time. Are about done with their merger. Essentially, Take-Two's been acquiring Zynga for a while. Apparently next week they'll finally finalize it. Yay! I don't know what they're buying with Zynga. I don't know what Zynga's done.
The share of old Facebook games?
I mean, yeah.
Because that's about it.
Farmville, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the thing. I have nothing else on that besides, hey, they're acquiring this thing finally, for some reason.
Same.
All right then, releases. 22nd. It's Galacticon for Switch. On the 24th. Floppy Nights for Xbox One and Series X, and Streets of Rage 4 for Android and iOS. 25th, Ni no Kuni Crossworlds for Android and iOS. Amazing Superhero Squad for Xbox One and Series X. Blow and Fly for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. On the 26th, Arcade Archives Plotting for PlayStation 4 and Switch. Sniper Elite 5 for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4 and 5. On the 27th, Arcade Spirits, the new challengers for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. Cow the Kangaroo for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. My Little Pony, A Maritime Bay Adventure for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, Switch, in Stadia.
Which is the only reason you read that one off.
Yes. You better believe the only reason I read it is because to get in that one Stadia release we get every like month or so.
That and you just wanted to skip Moolander.
Moolander for Xbox on PlayStation 4 and Switch. Pac-Man Museum Plus for Xbox on PlayStation 4 and Switch. On the 31st, Pocky and Rocky Re-Shrine for Switch. On the 1st of June, Death Run TV for Switch, Doki Doki Ragnarok for iOS, Janitor Bleeds for Xbox One. On the 2nd, Arcade Archives, The Tower of Daruga for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Behind the Frame, The Finest Scenery for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Diablo Immortal for Android and iOS. That thing that people memed because someone was like, why are you showing us the Diablo mobile game? What about a proper Diablo game?
I'm not gonna lie. I know it's not. But after looking at the title Card Shark, I now want someone to make a game that is actually a shark on a card doing stuff.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Because I'm like, that would be the dumb thing that I would expect something titled like that to just be like, oh yeah, you thought it was this now. Because I'm sure that's some kind of like poker game or something like that. Because there's not 5,000 of them on the Switch already. Just saying.
It is, but it has a neat looking art style. Also, you may or may not duel someone with swords and murder them. Oh, so you actually cheat at card games in this. And sword fight people, I guess, or those are cutscenes. I don't know. Oh, this is a Devolver game. It looks neat.
Yeah, it actually does. I was expecting it to be some kind of just bland thing, but actually no, that one might actually not be as crazy as my idea, but I mean...
It has an art style! It has you cheating at card games. How many card games actually have you cheating at card games as a mechanic?
Yeah.
And in multiple ways, too. Anywho, we also have on the 3rd Wonder Boy Collection PlayStation 4 and Switch, and on the 4th Secrets of Magic 3 Happy Halloween for Switch.
Don't I think that's a little early?
A little bit. But that is pretty much it for the show. There is a thing about Revice that I would show you, but it is in this week's episode, so I won't. It just got leaked early. Because for some reason, nobody locked these images on Toei's website for Revice, so people were just able to yoink them. Also, there's a thing next week that I'm like, wait, how does this? Okay, sure.
I'm like half tempted to say go ahead and show me.
I will just say up front, it is the rider form for the new belt that was in the episode preview.
YOLO.
Alright, let me grab the image real quick.
I won't show it on stream just because, yeah, but...
That is what leaked this past week.
Huh. I mean, that does look different. I've got to give it that.
It's fine. It does have eyes. They're just... This is not the best photo. Let me grab one of the actual pictures of it from this week's episode.
I mean,
I
think I can kind of understand where we're going with that, but it's definitely a different take from what we've seen suit-wise.
I understand it from the sense of we are homaging the Great Leader of Shocker because it is big red eyeball, kind of, except it's a bee butt with the stinger and stuff as the face. But unfortunately, that's all you get for trying to homage the Great Leader of Shocker, because that's all his design is.
I mean,
so
fair.
So it's a case of, what do we do with the rest of the suit? I don't know, just kind of do whatever. Just kind of throw whatever on there.
I mean, it does look good. In my opinion, at least.
Yeah. I didn't hate it. Some people did. I'm like, whatever.
I don't get the hate on it, though.
Yeah.
Like, I can fully get behind people being like, no on the combined Revice form.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, no. Too many colors. Too many bright neon colors.
It does have weapons. Can you spot the weaponries in this image?
Huh. That's not the only weaponry, is it?
That is the only weapons I've seen for this form in that it is used.
Okay. Huh.
Yes, it is those weapons from Gaim. Like, just flat out, it is them repainted. But I'm like, hey, at least they're getting some use, and you know what? It works. They'll at least be used as knives instead of being just tossed within 5 seconds of being put in hand.
I mean, that's about the only use for them, though. Because, let's be real, how many fights would those actually come in handy? When most other people have some kind of stupidly long sword.
Fair.
Yeah, throwing them's a valid answer.
Yeah, I just saw the pictures and stuff. I have not seen the episode proper. I'll see it tomorrow at some point when I get up.
After it's subbed.
Yeah. Because I get to watch that. I get to watch Owl House because I never get to watch Owl House on Saturdays, even though the premiere's on Saturdays. I have to watch it on Sundays. Because I don't have the Disney Channel. And I get to do...
I've kind of got to watch the other 3 episodes of 01.
I didn't realize that we end off perfectly on the first arc of the show because of our formatting.
Yeah, you know why that works out? Because we ended off on 2 different 2-parters.
True.
The last 2 weeks we've done that, and it's like, oh, we really have to start watching this a little bit better. We keep doing it, and I don't get it.
It's just because of how the shows end up formatting. But yeah, it was perfectly those episodes because I'm like, wait, because I looked at the thumbnails for the episodes, realized 17 was that episode after it, and I'm like, wait, this is it. This was 4 episodes. Wait, you're telling me that Shining Hopper got 2 episodes and then got immediately replaced with Shining Assault Hopper?
Uh-huh. Never to see Shining Hopper but one other time, I think.
We've had Barrett Rex more than this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Because it still at least occasionally shows up.
Yeah. Yeah, God damn it. Why is one of my favorite 01 forms so underutilized so often?
I mean, I get it. And to be fair, I do kind of feel like Shining Assault might have a little more usability. So I could kind of understand that.
Right, because it just does everything that Shining does except plus Shine system.
Yeah.
Because they didn't bother to distinguish the 2 forms in any capacity besides that.
Yeah. Which, I mean, granted, Shining Hopper key plus Assault grip, so it makes sense that it has the same thing plus a little bit.
Granted, we don't really know what the Salt Wolf key does without the grip.
Unless it just don't work.
It works. It has a transformation noise for without the grip.
Huh.
It's a non-sound effect because it just goes wolf and just a bunch of noises. But there is a noise for Sans assault grip.
You know, that actually would have been a good goof.
Yeah, but it's like,
have a moment where Fua realizes he doesn't have the grip and is like, screw it, I'm gonna use it anyhow. And then nothing happens but the noises.
I also like in this episode that Aruto takes the grip off just fine, but Fua has to rip the goddamn thing off.
I mean, he has to rip everything off.
Like Fua,
open.
You just. I just saw him struggling to rip it off, and I'm like, Aruto had this off in 3 seconds and with no effort. Why are you taking so long to rip it off? Fua, please.
Also, remember how last week I made the comment about at some point Fua says about the rider system, you know, helps negate pain?
Yeah, that's the first episode.
I did not realize that was the first episode of this match. I saw that, I'm like, oh, that was this, or oh, crap.
And of course Fua knows that.
Yeah, he kind of just lived through it.
Mm-hmm.
Barely, but lived through it.
But anywho, anything else?
No.
Alright then, tomorrow it is us having this conversation and more in depth with 4 episodes of 01. Wednesday should be us doing more Star Citizen. Thursday is another week of Rider Chronicle. I forget the games offhand. I believe it was Great Battle and something else.
It is unknown and don't know because it's not in schedule there, so
yeah, I gotta go
can't help.
Update the rest of the schedule there for that stuff. SD Great Battle and Battle Dodgeball 3. Saturday will be us doing. I forget what we're doing for next Saturday.
Originally, Friday was not gonna be a thing, so we will see come Saturday. It might be more Star Citizen. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna say 3 in a row or just say 2 and be good. I guess it'll more depend on how Wednesday goes.
Yeah.
If close up.
Yeah, that one. But yeah, that is the week ahead, folks. So if you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Chipping away the Philly go at TC on Twitter. Gets the updates of life. Exclamation point Discord chat. Gets this sort of thing. Drop by, say hi. See you tomorrow, folks.